Missing kids, possessed animatronics, a villain who always finds a way to come back. Turns out the first Five Nights at Freddy's movie was just the beginning. Here's what went down and why there's a whole lot more of the story left to be told.
Guess you figured it out.
Ghost children possessing giant robots? Thanks for the heads up.
Any recap of FNAF needs to start with the video games, so we're gonna briefly touch on that before we get to the movie. FNAF was created by Scott Cawthon and released in 2014. Immediately successful, it continued to grow in popularity thanks to appearing in countless playthrough videos on YouTube. Numerous sequels and spin-offs followed over the years, with Cawthon even penning novels to further expand the lore. The games revolve around a fictional pizza restaurant, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and the murderous animatronic characters that live inside of it. Players control security guards, or sometimes other characters, and attempt to survive for 5 nights from midnight to 6 a.m. The name of the game is managing resources and using the right tools to avoid getting snatched by the animatronics. Pretty simple. It's definitely not for everyone, and the gameplay is often criticized for being clunky and boring. The storytelling, however, is sprawling, detailed, and pretty dang original. Not too surprising that they finally made it into a movie, with a sequel set to drop in December 2025. That being said, let's get into the first adaptation of the game. The story begins with Mike Schmidt, who acts as a father figure to his little sister Abby. She's a good kid, but prefers to stay at home, draw pictures, and talk with imaginary friends. Mike works as a mall security guard and has a bit of a troubled past. His little brother Garrett was kidnapped when he was a kid, and he feels responsible. The residual trauma he suffered rears its ugly head when Mike thinks he's witnessing a kidnapping during one of his shifts and beats the alleged kidnapper senseless after chasing him down. Turns out, though, it was just the child's father, so understandably, Mike is fired. In need of a new job, he hits up career counselor Steve Raglan, who initially isn't too impressed with Mike's spotty work history, but something changes when Raglan reads Mike's full name in the file. He stutters and takes a moment to study his face. Wonder what that's all about. This is when he changes his tune and suggests a supposedly chill night shift security job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Mike declines, telling Raglan that he has to be at home at night to watch his sister. Just in case he changes his mind, Raglan gives him his business card. It's a good thing he takes the card because he needs a job more than he originally thought. The following day, social services reps threaten to take Abby away and award full custody to his Aunt Jane, who kinda sucks.
Don't tell me to calm down. You're the doctor, and you're making me feel like I'm the crazy one?
This is enough to make him change his mind and accept the night shift security guard position. Seems easy enough. All he has to do is arrange for a babysitter and hang out in the supposedly empty pizzeria from midnight to 6 a.m. Little does he know, though, things didn't pan out too well for the last security guard. Upon arriving for his first shift, Mike checks the place out and watches a goofy orientation video. While he hears some eerie noises, they aren't enough to keep him from falling asleep at work after taking sleeping pills, hoping to relive his brother's disappearance through lucid dreaming. This is a recurring dream he's had throughout his life, but then it veers off into unknown territory when 5 mysterious children make an appearance.
Who are you? That car. Did you see that car?
He tries to chase one of them down, but he trips over a rock, which prompts him to wake up in the security office. Just like that, his first shift is over. When he goes home to relieve the babysitter, Max, we see that she was actually hired by Mike's aunt to find some dirt on him and ensure that Abby is taken away from him. But since she wasn't able to find anything, the aunt devises a different plan. Max and her brother, along with a few others, will break into Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and vandalize the place in hopes of getting Mike fired. During Mike's second night on the job, he once again falls asleep and sees the mysterious kids in a dream. Choosing to chase a different kid this time, he actually catches up to him, but the kid slashes him with a hook. He wakes up to the entire pizzeria glitching out and someone buzzing the front door. When he goes to answer it, Mike finds a police officer standing there, Vanessa Shelley.
About time. Starting to think maybe you fell asleep on the job.
A longtime fan of Freddy's, Vanessa tells Mike all about the place after she helps him deal with the wound on his hand, which is somehow very real. Freddy's was popular back in the 80s, but it nonetheless had a high turnover rate employment-wise and ultimately got shut down after 5 kids disappeared there. Wonder if those are the kids he's been seeing in his dreams. She then introduces him to the animatronic characters, Foxy, Chica, Bunny, and Freddy. After he and Vanessa leave, Max and her gang arrive to trash the place, but this doesn't go as planned. The animatronic characters come to life and kill them all. Later on, Mike and Vanessa go on a walk, and he tells her about what happened to his brother. While she obviously can't do much besides listen, she throws his sleeping pills in the river and chides him a bit.
No more sleeping on the job. When you're at Freddy's, you stay alert.
After not being able to reach Max since, she got bitten in half by Freddy, Mike is forced to take Abby with him for his third shift. When he gets there, he finds the place in ruins and ends up spending the first part of his shift cleaning up while Abby sleeps. But then he falls asleep himself and once again has his recurring dream. This time, though, one of the kids doesn't run away. He claims to know who kidnapped Mike's brother and demands something in exchange for revealing the truth. After the kid eventually bails, Mike notices a rabbit drawn in the dirt and says that he would give anything to have his brother back. This is when he wakes up and finds Abby surrounded by the animatronics, but it's fine. They aren't interested in killing her. In fact, it seems like she's befriended them. When Mike and Abby return home from his shift, he notices that she's drawn a picture that perfectly matches his memory of Garrett being kidnapped. How could she possibly know about this? She claims that one of the kids from his dreams told her about it. Not only that, the kids are apparently the spirits of the children that went missing back in the 80s, and they now inhabit the animatronic characters. They also consistently mention a yellow rabbit when they talk with Abby. Believing that Abby can effectively communicate with the children's spirits, Mike brings her along for his fourth shift. When they arrive, Vanessa is already there. Mike asks her if she knows about the animatronics being possessed, and she admits that she does. Well, what else is there to do now besides bond and have a good time? Everything goes swimmingly until Abby ends up accidentally getting shocked. She's fine, but Vanessa warns Mike against bringing her back to Freddy's.
You can do whatever you want with your own life, but if you ever bring Abby back here again, I will shoot you.
With no other option, Mike is forced to call his Aunt Jane and ask her if she'll watch Abby while he goes back in for his fifth shift. Abby isn't happy about this and thinks he doesn't believe her anymore. Back at Freddy's, Mike once again falls asleep and dreams of the missing kids. The same kid he talked to before demands Abby in exchange for revealing the truth about who kidnapped Garrett all those years before. Mike agrees, but quickly changes his mind. After being attacked in his dream, he wakes up to find that he's trapped in some sort of device. The same one that killed the security guard we saw in the beginning of the movie. Thanks to that guard having loosened a screw before he was killed, Mike is able to escape. Then Foxy appears and closes in. Before we see what happens, it cuts to Freddy showing up at Mike's house and killing Jane before convincing Abby to follow him back to the pizzeria.
They're all waiting for you. It's time to go play.
Next thing we know, Mike awakens to find himself being cared for by Vanessa. This is when Mike finally learns the truth about what's really going on, or a lot of it anyway. Turns out Vanessa is the daughter of the man who kidnapped the children, including Mike's brother, whose name is William Afton. She also reveals that not only do the children's spirits possess the animatronics, their bodies are also literally inside the suits. How can he hope to defeat them and save Abby? Vanessa hands him a cattle prod and a taser. Electricity is the only way to temporarily incapacitate them, which was foreshadowed back when Abby accidentally electrocuted herself during their impromptu party on the night of Mike's fourth shift. Mike returns to Freddy's to save Abby. Infiltrating the place through a ventilation duct, he's able to pour some water on the stage and electrocute Freddy and Bunny with the taser. Meanwhile, Chica leads Abby to an animatronic suit and attempts to put her inside of it. Thankfully, Mike gets there before she can follow through with it and incapacitates Chica. But Chica's cupcake is still in the game, and it manages to bite Mike's leg. Abby is forced to run off on her own, which results in her being preyed on by Foxy. Just before Foxy finds her, Vanessa shows up and saves her. After defeating Chica's cupcake, Mike tries to reunite with Abby and Vanessa, only to be interrupted by an animatronic he hasn't seen before, but he's definitely heard about. The yellow rabbit. Something's different about this one, though. It can talk. It tells Mike that he's gotten too close to the truth and knocks him out. This is when Vanessa appears and holds the yellow rabbit at gunpoint. It takes its mask off, and we see that it's Steve Raglan, the career counselor who urged Mike to take the night shift at Freddy's. Turns out Steve is actually William Afton, Vanessa's father and the man who stuffed the children into the animatronic suits after murdering them. It also turns out that it's no coincidence that Vanessa has been hanging around since Mike took the job. She was initially sent there by William to distract him while he went about his grisly business, but eventually changed her mind. After she tells Mike that the kids don't know the truth about what really happened to them, William stabs her. So how do they go about telling the kids the truth? Abby draws a picture of the yellow rabbit killing them and replaces the original, which portrays the rabbit standing there hand in hand with the kids. This is enough to help them remember what really happened to them and free them of William's influence. With an assist from Chica's cupcake, William gets trapped in the suit and the animatronics drag him off, which prompts him to say his iconic line from the games.
I always come back.
Mike, Abby, and Vanessa escape Freddys before the whole place collapses. Then we jump forward into the future and see that Mike has gained full custody of Abby. Unfortunately, though, Vanessa is in a coma. Mike tells her that he'll be waiting for her when she finally wakes up. The movie ends with one of the children watching William as he inches towards death in the storage room at Freddy's, still stuck in the yellow rabbit suit. So what does all that mean for Five Nights at Freddy's 2? Well, from the trailer, we can see that the plot revolves around the OG Freddy's location. The one in the first film is just a franchise location. Vanessa has emerged from her coma and reunited with Mike. She's concerned about Abby and how she's still trying to communicate with the dead children's spirits, despite becoming a much more well-adjusted kid otherwise. And it looks like she's right to be worried.
Abby, help us. Come find us.
Yep, Mike and Vanessa are once again thrust into a fight with the possessed animatronics, and presumably William Afton. We'll just have to wait and see if they manage to survive again this time. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 comes out December 5th.